For those of you who have been with me for a while, y'all should remember this little tiny mic. I found it when I was cleaning out. Y'all know everybody got a box with all of these different cords, USB cords, this cord, USB. I had a box full of cords, and I found my little tiny mic in that box. So give a hand clap welcoming back the little tiny mic. Listen, I know y'all have heard it. If you have been paying attention, you have heard Donald Trump say over and over and over again, 2 weeks, 2 weeks, 2 weeks, 2 weeks. Well, now that all of these people felt that Donald Trump would be anti-war, he's now proving them wrong yet again, because it's the same people that have been proven wrong ever since Donald Trump took the second oath of office. They have been proven wrong, and those of us who knew what was coming with this presidency, we have been proven right. We have been able to say, we told you so, over and over and over again. Well, Donald Trump is now approving plans for war between Israel and Iran. And his base is all up in arms about it. All of the other people who say they didn't support Donald Trump but supported Donald Trump, they're all up in arms about it. And the rest of us, we're just sitting back and saying, we told you so. So they're trying to hold him accountable with all of these different threats. Donald Trump does not care. Donald Trump supports those who writes the checks. And while he's supporting those and doing what those who write the checks want, he's trying to appease everybody else. And so everybody is demanding that Donald Trump comes out with a specific plan and where the United States stand. And Donald Trump sent Caroline Leavitt, they call her the North Korea lady, he sent her out with this message.
Regarding the ongoing situation in Iran, I know there has been a lot of speculation amongst all of you in the media regarding the president's decision-making and whether or not the United States will be directly involved. In light of that news, I have a message directly from the president, and I quote, "Based on the fact that there's a substantial chance of negotiations that may or may not take place with Iran in the near future, I will make my decision whether or not to go within the next 2 weeks." That's a quote directly from the president for all of you.
2 weeks. He'll have a decision for all of you in 2 weeks. 2 weeks. He'll have a decision for you in 2 weeks. That is Donald Trump's go-to. Create chaos, has to come and make a decision, and his decision is always 2 weeks. Don't believe me? Here you go.
Been in office 3.5 years. You don't have a plan.
Well, we haven't had. Excuse me. You heard me yesterday. We're signing a health care plan within 2 weeks, and you're going to find it to be a very exciting 2 weeks.
We're going to be announcing something, I would say, over the next 2 or 3 weeks that will be phenomenal in terms of tax.
We've got some gas stations where just 2 weeks ago, it was $1.98, $1.99. We've got the gas down below.
First 2 weeks have been probably, they say, the most successful 2 weeks in the history of any presidency. We'll be reporting back sometime over the next 2 weeks as to NAFTA.
I'll be making a big decision on the Paris Accord over the next 2 weeks.
What about infrastructure? When is that going to happen?
We're going to do infrastructure very quickly. We've got the plan largely completed, and we'll be filing it over the next 2 or 3 weeks.
When will you make that decision?
Over the next couple of weeks.
We're doing very well in the fight against ISIS, as General Mattis has just explained, and we're going to be having a news conference in about 2 weeks to let everybody know how well we're doing.
And the mines are starting to open up. We're having a big opening in 2 weeks.
We've had tremendous success against ISIS in our fight in the Middle East. We're doing very, very well. We're going to be having a news conference in 2 weeks on that fight.
Our Secretary of Labor is coming out with a plan in 2 weeks. Wiretap covers a lot of different things. I think you're going to find some very interesting items coming to the forefront over the next 2 weeks.
Shout out to Brian Tyler Cohen. I got that compilation from him. But yeah, Donald Trump's response for everything is 2 weeks. And I'm going to tell you why I think he always goes for the 2 weeks. He always goes for the 2 weeks because he has no intention of implementing whatever it is, whatever plan, policy that he's promising. He has no intention of implementing it. And 2 weeks is his time frame in his mind that it will take for all of us to forget about said topic, policy, plan. Within this 2 weeks, he will do something else to create chaos, to get you to forget about this right here. Yeah. He doesn't plan to make a decision. He plans to walk away from it, right? Or do whatever it is that he plans to do behind the scenes without all of our eyes focused on it. And within a 2 week period, he'll do something else to try to distract us from this. Yeah. I'm glad somebody in the press room caught up on Donald Trump always promising something to come forth in the next 2 weeks. And they asked about it during that press conference. Here's what Caroline Levitt had to say.
President Trump has said previously in regard to Russia, he's used this phrase about 2 weeks several times in terms of like, we expect like a 2 week deadline and then you give another 2 week deadline. How can we be sure that he's going to stick to this one on making a decision on Iran?
Well, in those deadlines, as you've seen in respect to Russia, Ukraine, might I add, these are two very different, complicated global conflicts, as you know, that the president...
Child, we can cut that off right there because she goes into talking about how Donald Trump inherited these conflicts. Yeah. But he was the one that said over and over and over again on the campaign trail that he was going to rectify all of this. On day one, he said he was going to resolve the conflict between Russia and Ukraine. That was 6 months ago, right? He said he was going to bring peace in the Middle East, but yet he's adding more conflict, pain, death to what's happening over in the Middle East. So she's talking about he inherited these conflicts. No, Joe Biden had it under control. Benjamin Netanyahu asked Joe Biden to stand with Israel in attacking Iran, and Joe Biden said no, period. But yet, he's got a fool in the White House now. Benjamin Netanyahu's got a fool in the White House. You promise him something, you make a deal where he's going to make money, billions of dollars, and he'll jump right on whatever plan that you have. Benjamin Netanyahu knows how to work Donald Trump, just like Vladimir Putin knows how to work Donald Trump. So that is why we find ourselves involved in this conflict over with Israel and Iran now. Yeah, and in 2 weeks, he's gonna have an answer for you. But I guarantee you, within the next 2 weeks, there's going to be something else he's going to do to try to distract you from this. And if you don't hold him accountable and continue to ask him about this, you won't hear them mention anything else about it. Yeah, I got a report to do. I'll see y'all later.